Hello, welcome to Feck Sport. I'm George O'Callaghan. I'm joined today by one of the rising stars in the Electricity League, Cork City full-back Ian Turner. Welcome, Ian.
Cheers, George.
Thank you for coming in. We're just going to reflect on the season you just had in the Premier League with Cork City. How did you feel it all went after adjusting from life from the First Division?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, a lot of our players hadn't played Premier Division before, so going into the Premier Division, it was kind of an unknown for some people. So I think consolidation was good. At the end, we'd like to have been challenging, up the table, further up, but it wasn't to be this year, so hopefully next year.
Do you think the club are disappointed with 6, considering the budget that they pay and the players that they have? Have you underachieved?
I don't know. Maybe people might say we underachieved, but I don't think our budget would have been as big. I don't know. I'm not to say, because we get lied to every week about the budget, so it's all the one, So I don't know. It's easy to say, but like I said, there was a few players, including myself, that had never played in the Premier Division before. So just to play there and get the experience and hopefully push on next year, maybe do better next year.
Do you think one of the reasons that you've came 6th is because of Tommy Dunn's team talks? Because he is very boring to listen to, isn't he? A lot of people say to me when they're driving the car, they turn the radio off when he comes on. Oh,
well, that's on the radio. I suppose it's different in the dressing room, He's I've always been able to get up for matches anyway under him, so I not want to say he's boring, I'm not going to hammer my manager anyway. I get the sack next week.
No, tell us all about him, really, we want to know.
You probably know more about him than I do.
Mine would have to be edited, but I have to say.
I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to get hammered.
Tell me one thing, have you got the toilet on the bus yet? That's what I want.
We have just. Took a year, but we've got it now.
After enough complaining. For people watching the show, when we played for Cork City in the last couple of years, there was no toilet on the bus, so we would stop on the motorway and piss on the side of the street while all the cars would beep at us while we pass. So it was a bit embarrassing, considering there was 20 lads in Cork City tracksuits on the side of the road. So I'm glad to hear that we have got back the toilet on the bus.
Yeah, we have. Still haven't got tables or anything. No DVD. We have a DVD player, but it doesn't work. Or else there's people bringing some seriously dodgy DVDs. But yeah, other than that, we've got a toilet, so it's an improvement.
One of the things I miss the most is Danny Murphy's dyeing his hair and straighteners after the games. Is it still going on?
No, I think he's kind of gotten to grips now that he's old. He's getting hammered now, but he's kind of gone silver now, so he's keeping it silver. He's starting to look old now. He's turned 30 the other day, so he's getting a hammering over that.
And my last question about the staff, what about Jerry's ball bags? Is he still looking after them?
Oh, they're the lowest hanging ball bags I've ever seen in there, I can tell you that much. Jerry's a good man. Jerry's been at it long enough, so his balls can hang as low as they want.
He's still not the longest in the shower.
No.
But looking back on your season, there is a lot of difference in the league these days. The money's really gone from it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the top players gone from the league. Do you think it would ever build and come back to being
hopefully, I
the
think
strength it was in 2006, 2007 maybe?
Yeah, hopefully. I think it'll take a few years financially to get back to there, but I think, well, there's probably some players still bluffing a living and getting decent wages out of it, but I think realistically for an overall wages to be getting back to what they were, I'd say it'll take another couple of years yet,
And what about Turner's Cross? Do you still think the atmosphere is getting better and better, or do you think the crowds are starting to dwindle just a little bit, or is the interest still there?
Yeah, I do. Well, I always think we're getting an average of maybe 2,500–3,000 a year, which is brilliant, and the support is always good. Obviously, you have a couple of people who like hammering people a little bit more, but you're going to get that no matter where you go. But I think like anywhere else, Cork is such a big place and such a big population. The more you're winning, the more they're going to come. The more they're going to go to the matches and stuff. So, but I think 2,500–3,000. It's probably, I think it's the second highest average in the league. So it's good, and we've got a good support base and stuff.
Looking at pre-season now, are you preparing now for pre-season? Has it started yet? Or
yeah, we're in the gym. We're in the gym until I think it's the 6th of January. We're back. So the game has gone so physical now these days that you've no choice but to go in the gym. Gone are the days where you can just give a player football and go out and practice your skills there for 6 weeks before the season starts.
The thing about playing in the League of Ireland is that every player wants to go to England.
Yeah.
So no matter what club you play for in Ireland, still every player has that thing inside them that they want to leave. Do you think that frustrates the fans? I know when I was at Cork City, when I left the 4th time, the fans got very upset about it. But do you think people do get upset?
Maybe. I think they just got used to you leaving. That was kind of a regular occurrence. You'd come back for a year, do well, and go away again.
No, I used to come back for have my kids, and then I'll go away then again as soon as they were born.
Yeah. I think I was talking actually. Havana's got great business. When you were back, they were telling me the other day. But no, I don't think so, because I think when you're playing football, you obviously want to play at the highest level as you can. And in Ireland, it's proven that England is a higher level, you know. So every player, if they have any aspects or any expectations of playing, you know, at the highest level, they're going to go to England. Like
when I played for Cork City, when we drew a game or lost a game at Turner's Cross, we got booed off the pitch. Now you get clapped off the pitch no matter what. And if the manager lost, they used to be singing for the manager's head. So I'm starting to think, were the people booing at me and screaming for the manager's head actually the people that run the club now for us, because there's no negativity ever now, isn't there? It upsets me. None of the Cork media are afraid to say anything bad about him. It's all positive. So do you think they get away with a lot more than they should do, really, because of who they are and because they're the fans and everybody wants to stay on their side?
I don't know, because at the same time they saved the club as well, you know. So they have a right to, well, maybe back in the day they had a right to boo players and boo managers and stuff, but I think now with Forest involved, I think like they saved the club there. It's a fans-owned club, so there's more togetherness there, you know. So I think that's why it's a bit more acceptable now.
But like, can no one have their say? It looks like, because when I read the Evening Echo or read the Examiner, they're all licking their arses. No one has nothing bad to say about them ever, do they? Just completely all good media all the time because it's Forest. Do you not? Do you realise that as a player, or do you not think? Because when I was there as a player, it was a lot more harsher.
Well, you still get people hammering every player on the pitch, whether you're winning or losing. Like, in fairness, you get some funny shouts in the crowd. I remember we were playing Shells last year. We were 2-1 up. We played probably the best half ever. We were 2-0 up at half time. Came out in the second half. We went 2-1 down, and you actually introduced me wrong as well. I'm gone to a right midfielder and not a right back anymore. So I was playing right midfield. We were right next.
Can't defend.
That's because I can't defend. Exactly. Thanks for that. So I was right next to the crowds, and I remember we went 2-1 down. There was 2 minutes gone in the second half. We just didn't start the second half. 2-1 down. The ball kicked off, and one of the lads gave away the ball. And I remember hearing a shout. The shout, it was probably the worst shout. Do you know what? It was one of those shouts when you're playing a match, you don't even listen. You never hear the crowd, you blank it out. But I remember at this one stage, the game was still on, and I kind of looked up going, is this fella for real? Like, there's one fella shouted, for fuck's sake, you're 2-1 up, or you're 2-1 up, will you ever start playing for your money? You're fully paid professionals. This is bullshit, I could do better than this. I remember thinking to myself, is this fella for real? Like, you know, so you'll always get that, but you have to take the good with the bad, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to get that everywhere.
So what are your targets for next season now, before we change the subject on Cork City? Where do you think you'll end up? What do you want to do? Do you think you should be challenging for the title?
Yeah, I think so. I think... do you
think Tommy's job is under pressure if you're not in the top 3 next year?
I think everyone's job is under pressure, really, though, because everyone's under pressure to perform. There's such expectation down in Cork that you have to do well, really, like. So
but there hasn't been this year, have there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was that first season back as well, you know.
I think there's excuses all the time. They're a club now for 3 years. It's not as if it just happened 6 months ago. You got a big budget. You got the best fan base, the biggest crowds.
Yeah, well, I think that's something to work on then next year, that we can push on, and maybe, you know, next year then we can push on and try. Obviously, we're going to try win the league, because I think there's an opportunity there. I mean, we lost something like 28 points, I think someone said to me the other day, from winning positions last year. So I mean, that's up towards the top of the table. So if we can strengthen 1 or 2 players, then hopefully we can challenge this year, you know.
Yeah, brilliant. So just change the subject a little bit. We're going to look into the English Premiership at the minute. Obviously there's a lot of turmoil at Chelsea at the minute with Rafa Benitez coming in as the manager. What's your view on that?
Well, it's easy for me because I support Man United, so I can hammer them all I want. I think it's just ridiculous. Like, your man's off his game. He must be stoned out of his head or something every time.
He's had a few good nights at the strippers, I would think.
Oh, I'd say he's one of these guys that just, I don't know. Alright, you want to get a new manager here, phone up the manager and sack him.
Do you think it's possible they could actually sack Benitez in the next few days?
Yeah, I reckon they could. I wouldn't be surprised.
Would Torres get a game for Cork City? That's another question I wanted to ask you.
I don't think so. Do you know what? I liked him when he was with Atletico Madrid. He was a good player in that. And with Liverpool, he did okay with Liverpool, but he hasn't been good with Chelsea, you know.
I just think he has an identical twin brother.
I think so too.
And they got the 50 million, and he just headed off living in the Canaries.
I think the real Torres is off doing coke somewhere, living up in Mexico or something.
You wouldn't blame him, though, would you?
He has a big beard and everything, yeah.
Looking at the Irish team set up at the minute with Trapattoni, I just think it's a shame how the way Shane Long is treated by Trapattoni. He never seems to get a game. He's the most informed striker, Irish striker in England, and yet he keeps him on the bench constantly. It's amazing decisions he makes as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think he's just a guy stuck in the Stone Age, to be honest. In fairness, he's had an unbelievable career. He's got a great CV and he's won an awful lot, but I think he's not got with the times. He doesn't go, like, he's getting hammered. He doesn't go to any matches, doesn't watch any players. I'd say he doesn't even know who Wes Hoolahan and these players are, like, and they're ripping up the Premier League every week. And like you said, Shane Long is the best striker by a mile. West Brom is the third in the table.
Third or fourth, yeah.
And he's banging in goals every week and he's not even getting a look in.
I think it's amazing when people become managers how much they change in a person. I remember when I used to play with Jim Magilton at Ipswich and he became a manager and he absolutely just went schizo on us for about 6 months. He was like the scariest man ever after being a fella you could drink in the pub with. So yeah, it's amazing how people can turn like that. What about Kevin Doyle at the minute? He's a fella that's kind of struggling a bit, don't you think? I know he scored 2 goals at the weekend, but yeah, Wolves are down about 18th, 17th, 18th.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some big money moves and stuff, and I mean, his talent is always there. There was talks of him going to Arsenal and everything a couple of years ago when he was on a good run, so he's still a good player. I mean, even with Torres, like, class is permanent, you never lose that. You never lose that bit of class, so it's all about, concentration now and things like that, just little things. Once he starts banging in a few goals, he'll get back again, I think.
The thing with Kevin, I find with his agent Pat Dolan, I think Pat put him in the wrong club. He had options of Fulham, I think he had maybe Sunderland, and Pat put him to Wolves maybe for more money. But I think it's had a drastic effect on his career now because he's stuck in the Championship. He's going to need to score 25, 26 goals to get out of the Championship now. He probably won't get that this year. I know it's not a year fighting relegation, but if he was at Fulham, he would have been using a different system, better managers.
Yeah, maybe. I think, at Wolves, he went for such big money. He went for about 7 million or something. So if someone's going to buy him, they're going to have to spend 10, 15 million. So like you said, he's going to have to score a lot of goals for that. So I don't know the ins and outs of his agent and the money and stuff. So I can't really say on that. But like anything else, money makes the world go round.
What about in the English Premiership? There's a lot of diving. There's a lot of talk about racism and diving at the minute. Do you find any of that in the Electricity League?
There is. There's that everywhere. But I mean, it makes you laugh because fellas go in the gym and they're these big ripped animals and they're falling over as if they've gotten shot, But that goes on everywhere. You're going to try win free kicks and things anyway. So.
I think Gareth Bale was at it again at the weekend. He got booked again. I think he's had 3 bookings this year from diving.
Yeah, he's a good player though. I like him. So I can't really.
Who will be your tip for the Premier League? Man United, of course.
Man United, obviously, yeah. But it's going to be close this year. I think if Di Matteo stayed at Chelsea, he would have done a lot better than Benitez, because I just don't think they want Benitez to be the manager at all. So I think it'll be a big effort from them. I don't think they'll be able to get up and challenge. I think it'll be a 2-horse race, really. Arsenal have kind of fallen away as well.
And we've got Chelsea tomorrow night in the Champions League. Do you think they're going to make the group stages? I think it's 200 days to the exact from when they won the Champions League till tomorrow night, and they could be already out of the Champions League. Think they can do it?
I don't think so, because I don't think it's down to them. It's
in other people's hands.
Real Madrid and Dortmund get on, so Dortmund are already through. I'd fancy Real Madrid to beat them,
Brilliant. But overall, really, is it your dream to go in and play in England?
I think it's everyone's dream, really. I mean, you could do what you did and just go over, make a bit of bob and come back here with a cigar, but it depends.
You're not that good anymore.
Yeah, that's true. I've a lot to go there, yeah. But no, I'd love to go to England. I think every footballer would. It's it's where the top level football is, and it's something that I think every footballer comes through in Ireland and come through the Electricity League dreams of,
Do you ever come across any kind of John Terry players that's off with the lads' misses or anything? Yeah. There must be a couple happening.
Where do I start?
Can you tell me any
plenty.
names?
Could I tell you any names?
There must be a few, is there?
Kevin Long would be a good one.
Kevin Long?
Kevin Long, I'd put him up there with that one. I'd put him in that kind of, except for he gets away with it a bit more.
I'm sure his fiancée would be glad to hear that again.
He doesn't have a fiancée. He never will either. He's going to be 40 and lonely.
And is it the same hangout still in Havana Browns for all the Cork City players?
Yeah, it depends. See, there's a lot going on now, so there's a lot of people that are involved in the club now, and so you can't get away with it as much.
Yeah.
I went into, we got caught in the Macau there a couple of weeks ago.
It's like the Truman Show, isn't it?
Yeah,
Cork City and Cork.
it's not good because you go in and they go, oh, how's it going, how's it going? And then you get a phone call off the manager going, what the fuck were you doing in the casino at 6 o'clock in the morning? You're going,
but by the time you finish the sentence, do you not fall asleep? Go, Tommy. No. So, listen, Ian, it's been great to have you here today. Thanks for answering all my questions. Thanks for everybody for watching. Welcome. Thank you. Oh, can I cut that? Shit. Ran out of questions. Thanks very much for watching. Good night, and thank you for watching Feck TV.